It's the big kick-off tomorrow. Here are my predictions for round one in the 22-23 Championship. It is a big, huge welcome back to the prediction show. As you can see, bit of a change this season. We're going to go pre-recorded and not live, but I still want to hear your predictions down there in the comments. I'll put all the fixtures in the description. Just copy and paste. Let me know what you think about Championship Round 1. Here is what I think. Huddersfield versus Burnley. Fascinating opener in store on Friday night, and I will be there. Look out for the vlog straight after the game on the channel. Vincent Kompany takes his bow as Burnley boss, and Huddersfield begin life without Carlos Corberán after getting all the way to that playoff final last season. Plenty of moving parts here for both teams, so I'm going to go on the basis that I think overall squad quality might nick this one. I'm going for Burnley. Away! Cardiff versus Norwich. It's going to be an almost completely new look team for Cardiff after a very busy summer of incomings. Whilst Norwich return to the Championship with a manager and a lot of players who have been here and done it before. Home advantage may help Cardiff, but with a lot of new faces to knit together, that familiarity of that Norwich squad to this level just edges it for me. Away! Blackburn versus QPR. New managers everywhere. It's Jean Dahl Thomason versus Michael Beale in the battle of the newbies up at Blackburn. It's also the battle of two sides that fell away from really good-looking promotion positions at the back end of last season. Look, bit of a stab in the dark without having seen either of these bosses work in the Championship before, but I'm going to side with home advantage here as the final deciding factor and land on Blackburn. Home, Rotherham versus Swansea. Welcome back, Rotherham, after finishing second in League One last season. They face Swansea, who many people think may jump up a few spots if things click like they may be able to. I might throw in a little bit of a joke here for the first time this season and suggest it might take the Swans a game or three to get going. Will we see one of those 70% possession but concede from a set play weird patterns that we do get when Swansea aren't perfectly calibrated? And Rotherham can be a fearsome side at home. Draw! Hull versus Bristol City. Tricky one to call this one. No new managers, but plenty of new faces, particularly over at Hull. I have the Tigers in this could go one of two ways mode this season, so I wouldn't be surprised with any particular outcome in this one. Bristol City should have decent continuity across from the end of last season, but I do like the idea of those Tigers clicking early on and having a good start. Home, Wigan versus Preston. The first of many Northwest derbies in the Championship this season, with a whole host of teams in that area. Now Burnley and Wigan have joined Preston, Blackburn and Blackpool. Preston have done the more business out of the two, so Wigan are going to be counting on a home advantage and a bit of momentum carrying through from last season's Championship winning year in League One. I think they're going to get some momentum, but not enough to get the victory. Draw. Millwall versus Stoke. Millwall seem to have done a good job in mitigating the loss of talisman Jed Wallace this summer. With some fun incomings, we're all looking forward to seeing Zian Fleming likely for the first time in the Championship. A big question surrounding Stoke seems to be, is Dwight Gale still a goal machine at Championship level? All of that aside, look, it's Rowett versus O'Neill, so I'm going to land heavily on draw. Luton versus Birmingham. These two clubs have had rather contrasting close seasons. Luton followed up their brilliant playoff finish with some decent recruitment, just the one big loss in terms of Cal Naismith. Birmingham, on the other hand, changed managers and had takeover chitter-chatter all the way through the past month or 6 weeks or so. The recruitment Also, a little bit middling so far. I know Blues had a bit of a hex over Luton last season, but I don't see that continuing here. Home, Blackpool versus Reading. Given Reading's outgoings in the summer to get themselves in line with that new FFP wage limit, I would probably have been back in Blackpool for this one if Neil Krissy was still around. But he's not, and it's going to be very interesting to see how Michael Appleton settles back in, reacclimatises on his return to Bloomfield Road. With that caveat, I'm struggling to separate the two on opening day, so I will go draw. Borough versus West Brom. The 5:30 game pits two clubs talked about heavily for top six finishes. I'm pretty high on both, but just wonder whether Borough's team might look a little different in 3 or 4 weeks' time once they're able to spend the Spence and maybe Tavernier money that they've got burning a hole in their bank account at the moment. West Brom got their business done nice and early. Steve Bruce knows this division well. So, probably a long price on this one, but I am going to back the Baggies to win at Borough. Away! Sunderland versus Coventry. Sunderland are back with a home opener on Sunday lunchtime against Coventry. The Black Cats have been away a fair wee while and will have a big feel-good factor and expectation that could carry them over the line against the lesser combatant. But Coventry, look, they're one of the most stable clubs in this division, and I can see them weathering the Roker Roar, the Stadium of Light shout, and leaving the North East with at least something. Draw. Watford versus Sheffield United. Our first all-parachute clash of the season on Monday night. And again, I will be there. Check out the vlog straight after the game. It's a new era starting over at Watford. Rob Edwards is stepping up from League Two last season, but still a lot of quality in that Watford squad. Sheffield United had bags of momentum to end last season, but we need to see how they're going to be without key asset Morgan Gibbs-White. I'm going to go down the middle on this one. Two potentially big hitters. Draw. And there is my round one, my first batch of predictions for this season. Get your views in on my picks in the comments. If you're upset that I predicted your team would lose and you expect that they won't lose, great stuff. Tell me why in the comments. If you're just hoping they won't lose, then stop being such a snowflake. I'm far more interested in hearing your predictions on the 12 games rather than feedback on mine. So do copy and paste the fixtures from the description and get involved with your forecasts. Speaking of predictions, it was the big one earlier in the week. So stay with the channel. Click here to see, if you haven't already, my 1 to 24 predictions for the entire 22-23 Championship League table.